The article emphasizes the urgency of ending the Israeli-Hamas war, noting the displacement of 1.3 million residents in Gaza. It suggests that while Israel may win militarily, Hamas could gain increased support among Arab populations. The Palestine Authority's unpopularity is highlighted, and the article questions the feasibility of a two-state solution. The authors propose fresh elections in Gaza and the West Bank under international supervision, a UN peacekeeping contingent, and lifting the Gaza blockade. The long-term solution suggested is Israel vacating the West Bank for a viable Palestinian state, incorporating painful concessions and demilitarization. The Abraham Accords are seen as foundational for regional harmony.
The Broadcasting Services Regulation Bill, released by the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, aims to regulate broadcasting comprehensively. The bill proposes obligations for maintaining subscriber data records and transparent audience measurement methods. However, concerns arise regarding the inclusion of over-the-top (OTT) content suppliers in the definition of broadcasting services, potentially impacting news outlets outside large networks. The bill lacks clarity on ownership issues, cross-media and vertical ownership measurements, and the establishment of an independent broadcast regulator. It introduces a Broadcast Advisory Council with government-dependent powers and grants broad authority to the government to curtail broadcasting in public interest. The article emphasizes the need for revisions to protect press freedom and diversity.
The U.S. Department of Justice has filed a 15-page indictment against an Indian national, alleging an assassination attempt on U.S.-based Khalistani separatist Gurpatwant Singh Pannu. The accused, Nikhil Gupta, communicated with a senior Indian government intelligence officer and two US-based men, unknowingly working for US law enforcement. The revelation raises questions about information sharing between the US and India and the Modi government's transparency. An inquiry committee has been instituted, impacting India's US ties. The case may affect relations with Five Eyes intelligence partners and challenges India's reputation as a consistent and credible power, demanding careful consideration of next steps.
Recent events in Myanmar's civil war suggest a potential shift towards the restoration of democracy, posing a significant challenge to the ruling junta since the February 2021 coup. Coordinated attacks by the Three Brotherhood Alliance, TBA, have led to junta losses in numerous bases, especially in rural areas. The National Unity Government, NUG, and ethnic armed forces have formed rebel militias, challenging the junta. International condemnation of the coup exists, with the European Parliament recognizing the NUG as Myanmar's legitimate government. India, while supporting democratic reforms, has maintained cautious ties with the junta to counter Chinese influence, but the evolving situation prompts a reconsideration of these ties.
The discussion delves into the shifting global order amid China's rise, US-China tensions, and Russia's changing ties. Sharma sees a bipolar order with the US dominant but China rapidly growing, while Singh notes China's economic might influencing the global order but doubts a rigid bipolar world due to interdependence. Sharma highlights Russia's cautious alignment with China and its aim to diversify ties, particularly with India. Singh acknowledges India's complex relations with the US and China and doesn't foresee a complete closure of options amid great power competition. Sharma emphasizes India's need to strengthen its comprehensive national power vis-à-vis China. The conversation touches on ongoing wars, attributing global violence partly to the military-industrial complex's pervasive influence.
The article recounts the challenging experience of a reporter covering the 17-day-long evacuation of 41 workers trapped inside the Sila-Kyalabarkot tunnel in Uttarakhand. The evacuation efforts faced setbacks, including a stuck drilling machine and challenging accommodation and food situations for reporters. The intense reporting demanded constant updates, fact-checking, and adapting to limited resources. Despite the hardships, the reporter expresses satisfaction as the operation concluded successfully, highlighting the joyous moment when the workers were finally rescued, turning a potentially draining assignment into a positive outcome.
The Union government has formed a 6-member panel to examine and make recommendations for holding simultaneous elections in the Lok Sabha, state assemblies, and local bodies. The proposal has been pushed by the BJP, citing benefits such as cost savings, reduced security deployment, and streamlined development. However, critics argue that it goes against the federal spirit, sidelines local and regional issues, and requires complex constitutional amendments. Legal challenges include repealing and amending several articles. The focus might be on holding simultaneous Lok Sabha and Assembly elections, but broader consultation and complex amendments are essential for implementation.
The article emphasizes the need for science-backed protocols to prevent the spread of AIDS. Globally, an estimated 39 million people live with HIV, with 1.3 million new infections in 2022. Key populations, including sex workers and drug users, are most vulnerable. Antiretroviral medications offer an effective means of preventing HIV multiplication, enabling those with HIV to lead normal lives. Despite advancements, challenges persist in implementing preventive guidelines and treatments, such as those for tuberculosis. The article calls for global efforts, leveraging India's capacity to produce generic HIV medicines. Early antiretroviral therapy initiation is cost-effective, and new tools like long-acting injectable PrEP can enhance prevention.